Good morning, everyone. This is Scott Walton, and I have posted some videos on TikTok and also on YouTube. I have gotten back an amazing amount of response views. Thank you very much for watching it. I got a lot of responses back. Wow, that's all I can say to the, the responses I got. People saying different things about what we were doing and how we were doing it, and some of it was positive, some of it was not so positive. However, what I would like to let you all know is that Lori and I are just a pretty ordinary couple, to be totally honest about it. And there's nothing that we do that's breathtakingly whatever. Okay, we just work out. Now, I've been working out ever since about 1973. So when I hear certain comments, sorry, it ain't gonna fly. About scientific evidence showing this, or this is going to exhaust her, this is going to over exhaust Lori, things of that nature. Just, okay, guys, stop, seriously. I've been lifting way too long and been talking to the people who have actually been doing it as long as I have. And I can tell you a whole lot of stuff about, what's been proven, what's not been proven, and so forth. But what tends to be the things that I listen to are the people who do it and the people who've been in this game for the 30, 40, 50 years type situation. Because what people read and what they say and what's actually been done are generally all different. I can tell you that way. The overextension that Lori uses, and I use very much so, is something that helps strengthen the back. It puts you in a vulnerable position. You don't have to do very much weight with it, and you don't have to do very many reps with it. But what it does do is strengthen your core. It does strengthen your back. You get a good stretch on your lats, back, and so forth. But if you don't like something that we're doing, or you feel that it is going to be a certain way, then simple, don't do it. Okay, but it's something that we do. All right, and that's the way it works. Okay, so thank you for your comments and so forth like that. Whether they're good or whether they're bad or whatever the case may be, or negative or positive, that's a matter of opinion anyway. So please keep commenting and so forth. What I'm going to talk to you about briefly today is your water intake. Okay, so as we are talking, water, yep, and I drink plenty of it every single day. It's been suggested that somebody drinks at least a gallon of water a day. Uh, I'm kind of with that one. I do drink a gallon of water a day, probably a little bit more than a gallon of water each day, but that's me. That's what works for me. That's what I do. I just drink a lot of water. I think water keeps you hydrated. It helps break down your food. It helps keeping everything going in the right direction. However, you do have to watch your vitamins. You do have to watch your nutrients. The reason why is because you do go to the bathroom a lot because you drink a lot of water. So make sure you stick with the nutrients that you should, your vitamins, so forth like that, good amounts of food. Also, make sure your food is varied because every food, as you know, has different nutrition in it and so forth. I can get on one bag and go forever. I mean, I can do chicken, rice, and broccoli, chicken, rice, and asparagus. I can damn near do that 6 times a day and don't even have a problem. But the real problem with that is that it doesn't allow me to get nutrients from all different types of sources, which give my body everything that it needs. So the last couple of years, I've tried to change my diet around a little bit, and I make sure I get enough of everything in there. So listen, this is my advice for the day. Make sure you have a good multi-mineral vitamin. Make sure you have the supplements that you need to get your body to where you want to get to. Before you try something, simply read on it. That's all. See what it is that you want. Know what it is that you want for. Is it going to be for the muscle? Is it going to be to help drop fat? So forth. Look those things up. You may hear about something and you don't know what it exactly does. Doesn't really matter. What you do is read up on it. And I advise you to read 2 to 3 articles to get a good perspective because one generally just doesn't give it to you. And one more thing I want to tell you about creatine. I keep hearing about creatine and how everybody thinks it's so negative. Creatine is not a negative substance to take, nor is it a negative, what do you call it, supplement to take. It is not negative in any way, shape, or form. However, you do have to watch what type of creatine and how long and how much you take of creatine. I am a big creatine fan. I take creatine. I have no issues with creatine. But some people do, depending on how long and how much they take and so forth. And everybody's body is different. Okay. So because a doctor says this or a doctor says that, number one, you might want to look at how many jack doctors you know, not very many. Number two, you might want to look at, okay, how much have you been doing, how long have you been doing it and so forth, and which type. Makes a big difference on how your body responds to it. If your body does not respond to something or responds to it negatively, the real answer is stop doing it. It's kind of simple. You really don't have to do it at all. So there's more than one supplement out there. Supplements are just that, supplements. Your real building blocks of your physique or to take down the fat or whatever it is you're trying to do is food, whole foods. Try to get away from all the processed foods, because the processed foods, you don't know what's always in them. That's the big problem with processed foods. You don't know what's always in them. We don't actually know what's actually being grown because scientists are screwing around with our natural food. We really don't. But I'd rather go to my steak, my chicken, my turkey, my eggs, whole eggs. I go with whole eggs for the most part. I'd rather go with sources like that: rice, potatoes, yams, anything like that. Oatmeal. I do real oatmeal and stuff like that. Your breads, your tortillas, and stuff like that. Those are always nice to have. If your body can take and utilize them, fine, roll with it. But if not, take a look at your physique. It will tell you everything you want to know about what's going when, where. Don't be afraid to experiment with things. Okay, find out what works for you and what does not. Take some things out, put some things in. Maybe it's a matter of timing. Maybe you can you process something in your body much better earlier than you can later. It's going to take some time, guys, for you to get your physiques to where you want to get them to, no matter what it is. If you just want to fit into a summer dress, if you know that you're going to graduate, if you know you're going to be going to a wedding, if you know you're going to be going to wherever, okay, and you just want to look nice and so forth, it's going to take some time and some hard work. But first of all, mainly it's going to take your good diet. Second, what I'm going to talk to you about is your sleep. If you are not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you're almost guaranteeing yourself a wreck of a body. It will not come around. Your body will not respond. It will not do what you want it to do if you are not getting sufficient sleep. If you need a sleeping aid, there's lots of natural sleeping aids out there that you can get. They come in tea form, they come in liquid forms, they come in solid forms. I would advise you to look into those. Again, advising you to look into them first before you go taking anything, and if that's what you need to help you get some sleep. But sleep is very, very important, and you need to get that deep sleep, okay? Not that shallow sleep where you're waking up every hour. If you need a CPAP machine, go ahead and get the CPAP machine, because what happens is you keep waking up and waking up and waking up, and you don't really get the sleep that you need. If you don't get 7 to 8 hours a night, maybe 6 you can get away with, but if you don't get the hours that you need, forget it. Your physique's not going anywhere. Sleep is so important, everybody. I can't tell you enough. So make sure you get enough sleep. Okay. Other than that, listen. If this helps you, it does. If it doesn't, hey, skip it and keep going to the next thing. But I'll be posting some more workout videos soon. All right. Thanks a lot.